Armed, unmanned, and high-tech drones or remotely piloted aircraft are becoming a common sight on the battlefields. And to be honest, we believe that we are in the midst of an underground drone arms race, with larger drones like the MQ-9 Reaper as well as medium-sized drones like the Turkish TB2 and the Chinese Wing Loon 2 becoming must-have items for forces throughout the world. At the moment, we see that over 100 countries around the world are utilizing military drones, and that number is expanding rapidly in Libya, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the US global war on terror. Armed drones have been active all over the world. These drones have the ability to soar thousands of feet in the air and rain down carnage with pinpoint accuracy with little warning. But who creates these cutting-edge weapons of war? The survey on the military drone market identifies additional data that best meets the business requirements, such as product classifications, application, and important definitions. Furthermore, the study considers a series of industry-leading events designed to educate product owners on return on investment, investment feasibility, supply chain management, consumption volume, customer behavior, and demand and supply. The global military drone market is expected to reach $35.7 billion by 2028 at the CAGR of 10.9%, according to the most recent Emergent Research analysis. The increasing need for drone deployment for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operations can be attributed to the military drone market's steady revenue growth. Military drones are widely used to track enemy activities and positions in combat zones in real time. The intelligence gathered through intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance gives soldiers a distinct military advantage and significantly increases mission success rates. Drones play an important role in executing advanced military tactics that are critical to a country's security and sovereignty. The subject matter experts behind the study used a strategic growth research technique that fully considers product applications, product types, and important industry terminologies and definitions to assist business owners in developing a solid business plan as well as progressive map for their products and services. Furthermore, the agile methods for assessing various factors such as demand and supply status, consumption volume, customer preference, spending capacity, and import and export trends are beneficial to those diversifying into a new product line. It's not easy to create armed drones, but it's not as tough as, say, building new nuclear weapons. And who's purchasing them? Drone technology is not a new concept. Throughout World War II, the United States operated an AB-17 remotely as part of a test program, and during the Cold War, drones were employed to spy on other countries. The SR-71 even featured a rocket-powered drone that could release in flight to collect images that could subsequently be retrieved. Drones have a considerably longer history than early flying, but modern drones may be traced back to the 1980s. The development of drones such as the General Atomics MQ-1 Predator was made possible by the combination of satellite technology, composites, and computer downsizing. General Atomics, which includes GA Aeronautics Systems Inc., is one of the world's top manufacturers of unmanned systems. Among other unmanned systems, they now manufacture the MQ-9 Reaper as well as the naval variant, the Sea Guardian. In the year 2000, the Predator was outfitted with missiles, igniting a new arms race. It may linger in the air for extended periods of time and could be controlled by a ground station in another country. But before we continue, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell button to ensure that you never miss a video or an update from us. The drone has become the face of the United States conflicts in the Middle East, and moral and legal concerns concerning drone use arose as a result of the U.S. ongoing targeting killing activities. The MQ-9 Reaper made its initial flight in 2001 and went on to become the dominating armed drone that the U.S. fielded. The Reaper has a payload of 3,850 pounds, and the Predator has a payload of 450 pounds. This means, among other things, that it can carry significantly more missiles or bombs than the Predator. However, it's unknown what will finally replace the hundreds of Reaper drones. The Avenger is a current General Atomics aeronautical project, as seen in this General Atomics film. However, the Avenger has not been adopted from frontline service by the US military. The upgraded drone is designed to be covert and resistant to modern air defenses, which could provide a glimpse into what the drone of the future will look like when it replaces the MQ-9, according to the US government. The United States military will never fight another war without drone technology. But sadly, we believe that as a group, we no longer have an advantage. Countries all over the world have taken note of the US's investment in bigger drones. They've also made efforts to acquire these gaming-changing drones for themselves. General Atomics has been selective in which countries it's permitted to sell to. We have placed much too much emphasis on preventing exports to countries that require this technology and are friendly to us in order to maintain our airborne supremacy. The MQ-9's high-tech hardware and software necessitate ground station satellite connectivity and maintenance. As a result, the MQ-9's rising price point of around $32 million has deterred some prospective buyers. Allies such as Australia have expressed interest in purchasing the MQ-9B, and the US State Department approved a $1.6 billion deal in late April for 12 Sky Guardians and all associated equipment, but the demand for more affordable drones has not subsided, resulting in others filling the market's needs. It's worth noting that the US and Israel held a monopoly in more sophisticated armed drone systems for many years, perhaps a decade or so previously, and neither was particularly interested in exporting. Israel was one of the first adopters of drone technology, as well as one of the first exporters, but these exported drones are often unarmed, making them less valuable for military objectives, and partially because there was a near export restriction. Other actors, most notably China and Turkey, have begun to create their own domestic armed drones. The Winglong family of drones was developed by China's Chengdu Aviation Industry Group. The price of the wing, which is expected to be between $1 and $2 million, has pushed it up. Popular with African and Middle Eastern forces, Russia is likely to try to sell its native Orion drone, while Turkey, which has made a major push in recent decades to create an aerospace sector, has produced one of the most infamous medium-sized drones. The Baykar defense, which is controlled by the line of sight, has made an impression in Nagorno-Karabakh and Libya. Several countries have bought the Turkish drones, including Ukraine, which signed a $6 to $9 million contract for armed TB2s in 2019. More potential purchasers may be enticed by the highlight reel of the TB2 taking on our modern tanks in real-world settings. These highlight clips of destruction haven't been all positive for the new entrant into the armed drone market. Under international law, some armed drones are classified as missiles. We believe our politicians must modify policies for the 21st century and recognize that many different actors are employing drone technology in a variety of ways. The Missile Technology Control Regime, or MTCR, prohibits the export of missile capable of carrying a 500-kilogram payload for at least 300 kilometers. As a result, certain drones are classified as missiles under the MTCR. Due to the MTCR, the US has previously prohibited the types of drones that can be supplied to foreign countries. The main news about drone exports changed last summer when the Trump administration opted to lift some restrictions on what the US might export. So far, the Biden administration has upheld the east ban. Canada and Germany have both prohibited the sale of critical materials required in the manufacture of armed drones to Turkey and Iran, respectively. In the end, drones are simply miniature airplanes with excellent sensors. And all of these, have dual purposes and are only employed in the civilian arena. In fact, the civilian use of drones has increased dramatically in the last 5 to 10 years. As a result, regulating their export is extremely difficult. I'd also like to point out that developing these systems isn't all that tough. What happens when everyone can afford a quadcopter or fixed-wing drone for a couple $100s? Some non-military drone manufacturers have implemented measures such as geofences to prevent drones from being armed. A geofence is a predefined restriction on where a drone could fly. Airports are frequently gated off in order to prevent drones from interfering with airport operations. Civilian drones can also be utilized for a variety of extremely beneficial purposes, ranging from agricultural use to checks and controls, among others. So how can you regulate those kinds of things? There are also ethical questions about using armed drones. For example, consider Bush's large-scale drone operation, which escalated under Obama. We notice a rise in the use of armed drones for targeted executions, as well as an increase in the number of civilians killed in such operations who had no access to accountability or restitution because the program technically did not exist. Large weaponized drones aren't going away anytime soon. Baker is developing the Akinci, a larger drone with satellite control and a greater payload. China also appears to be working on the deployment of a newly built armed drone. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you should watch the other video on the screen right now to find out why these cheap slow drones are successful against Russia. Please like, subscribe, and follow our channel to get more amazing stuff and up-to-date information.